Welcome to this walkthrough demo of the naturallytalentedme.com platform. This is to show you how to build and create a profile. First, your option is that you can log in or register. You can do that from this button here, and when you click the button it will show that you have a register option. So if you don't already have an account, you should include your name, email address and select a password, and that will allow you to access the system. Make sure you write these down for future reference. If you've already got an account with us, then you should click login. You should enter the email address that you used when you first signed up and then your password. Same with most of these sorts of systems. This will take you to the dashboard, and I'm going to talk you through a number of items on the dashboard to help you build and create your own profile, and then I'll come back to the dashboard afterwards to explain what the different features are on the dashboard. So the thing you should be most concerned about is the options here on the left hand side. So you have an option to view your profile, and I'm going to come back to this at the end to show you what a completed profile looks like. And at any time when you're in the system, if you click the button top left with the naturallytalentedme.com logo, that will take you back to the dashboard section here where we just were. So I'm going to show you how to create your own profile. And I'm going to use mine as an example, which is already completed, so you can see at the end what a completed profile can look like. So you start with Edit My Profile. Click on that button, and that will take you to a number of options here in the Edit panel. And you can do one of two or three things. You can either run the profile wizard, which will take you stage by stage through how to complete your profile, or you can go to individual sections within your profile and update those at any time. So this is a living, breathing document. You can come in and update this in any sections independently and save them, and you can then also save that as a different version of your profile, which you can see here on the right hand side. But if we start with Edit Contact Details, this is a simple page that you'll be used to, which is really just generally an introduction about you. Note the tooltips at the top here. Read these because these will give you a little bit of information about each of these particular stages and will just help you and guide you through. What you'll notice first of all is there is a picture on the left. Make sure that's a smiley picture, head and shoulders looking at the camera. That really helps. You've got the option here to hide your contact details, and you may decide to do that. Maybe work with your work coach or your mentor if you have one of those, and they can advise whether you should or shouldn't hide your contact details. Obviously, if you're operating independently and this is just your profile that you're using for yourself, you will need potential employers to contact you, so you probably do need at least a contact number or an email address for people to contact you on. So if you click that button, when you show your profile, it will not show your contact details. If you uncheck that button, whatever you put in these boxes will be visible. If you hide your contact details, you will also hide any access to your social media or your LinkedIn profile. So bear that in mind, and also remember that whatever you have out there on the World Wide Web will be visible. Even if you delete it, people could potentially have saved content. So just be careful about what you have in these social media links. And the section on the bottom left here is some personal statements, which are just capturing just a little snippet of what makes you a little bit different. So fill those in because they just give a little bit of insight into you as an individual. So that's the contact page, and at all times whenever you move to a next page it will save the content so you won't lose it, or you can click the save button just to be doubly sure, and it will give you a time then that information was saved. So moving on to the next of the first main pages within the Naturally Talented Me platform, this is the hobbies section, and this is when it starts to build a profile of you based on your hobbies and the things that you love doing, the things you're passionate about. So we have a description at the top here as to what a hobby is, and we've got a tooltip. Again, read that, which gives you just a little bit of evidence and information about what you should be completing. So read that piece just so that you're clear on what a hobby is. And you'll see that there's a whole list of potential hobbies here that may interest you. So use the drop down scroller on the right hand side, and that will show all of the available hobbies. If your hobby that you're really passionate about is not on that list, and it is possible, there are things that people do that we haven't necessarily captured, then you can suggest a new hobby for us to consider, clicking this button here, and that will open up this page which allows you to type in what your hobby is and send us a message. We will then assign talents behind the scenes, so the next time that you use the system, that hobby will be available and it will appear in this drop-down list. Once you've selected your particular interests from this top box, they will appear under your My Selected Hobbies box, and you'll have a whole range of things that you're interested in, and it's these that help define your talents. So think carefully about the things that you take part in and the things that really interest you. And you'll also see that below this box of your selected hobbies, there is a whole list of potential questions. Not every hobby that you've selected will have a secondary question, but some of them will. An example might be if you sing and play musical instruments, it will ask whether you belong to a club or a band. So answer those questions, because those also help build your talent profile and the things that are unique about you. And down at the very bottom, there is an option for you to put just a little bit of statement about further information regarding your hobbies. If you can complete that, that just adds a little bit more detail and is useful in context. Again, you can save, or you can go straight to the next page. And in this instance, it is a interest page. So my interests will take you to this page. Again, a definition as to what an interest is and a tooltip that will help you complete it. So this is about selecting images which make you feel good or inspire you. So you simply go through, click the image that you like, that will highlight and put a tick next to it. If you change your mind, you can unclick it, and you end up with a selection of images that are potentially you have an emotional connection to, or as we say, make you feel good or inspire you. So go through this whole raft of images, select the ones that resonate with you, and click save, and that's the interest section completed. We now move on to my talents and attributes. This is the list of talents that have now been presented here. So it's showing mine, starting with determined, adventurous, competitive, energetic, based on the things and the hobbies that I like doing. And it is these selection of talents that have now been presented. And what you need to do is that you have to put some context underneath each one of these. As it says here, we've matched the talents to you and given a description of each attribute. So this one here at the top, determined, someone who wants to do something very much and not allow anyone or any difficulties to stop them. You need now to give a brief example of why you think this talent is relevant for you. And the benefit of doing that is partly that it gives context, but it will also ensure that that talent shows up on your profile. So you do have to put some text under here, and again you may want to work with a coach or with a mentor to enable that to happen. Okay, so that's putting some definitions under your talents. Next section is about my learnings. This is your learning style. How do you prefer to learn? What are you most comfortable with? Because this also gives a little bit more information about your particular talents and your ways of working. So there is a drop-down list here of the ways that are available. Select those and they will appear in the box below. And it's also an opportunity for you to put information about any experiences, any education, any qualifications that you may have. So if you add these in here, these could be certificates, they don't have to be school or college related, they can be external qualifications or certificates, and if you can add those in there, that adds depth to your profile. Okay, next section is really important. This is about giving some visual representation of the things that you like doing. So basically it builds a gallery, a portfolio of images that is unique and special to you. And it also allows you to capture a short video piece to camera. So to do that, you open your webcam, click on this button, that will open the webcam on the device that you're using, whether that's a mobile phone, a tablet or a laptop, and you can then record and click stop to save that recording. If you don't like it, you can do it again. If you don't like it, you can do it yet again. You can keep doing it until you have about a 30-second or 40-second piece to camera, just talking about you, what your name is, what you love doing, and the sorts of things that you're interested in. You can also upload a whole range of images that are relevant to your particular hobbies and pastimes and interests. Literally do that by clicking on this big page, this big space in the middle, where it says upload images, videos and documents, and select those images or videos and documents from your own local source on your laptop or your mobile. And that will add them to your portfolio. Put a little description alongside each of those images, because that will be referenced in your gallery, as you'll see when I show you mine. Almost at the end, so a couple of final pages. One is about any experiences that you may have had. So this may be employment, so include the name of the employer, or it could be volunteering or projects or trips or things that you have experienced. So it doesn't have to be employment, but obviously if you've had some work experience, then put that in there as well, because that's very relevant. And there is a tooltip again which gives you an example of some of the experiences beyond employment that you may want to add in there. And then the very final page is an introduction text, and this has again got a descriptor at the top here which will talk about the sorts of information you might want to include in that piece of text, and complete that and submit the final version of your profile. There's a button here bottom left which allows the system to match you to possible jobs based on the talents that you have that have been created when you've added in your hobbies and your interests and your pastimes in the secondary questions. So if you want the system to match you to possible jobs that will then appear on your dashboard, then click that button. Click submit. That will confirm that your changes have been saved, and then you can go back to the dashboard on the left and you can view your profile here. Just above, just to point out, there is a line that gives ideas about how to improve on your profile and how complete your profile is. So if you click on that line, it will open up a section which tells you gives you a few tips about things that you potentially could do to improve your profile. I will do that a little bit later, and that will take me back to the dashboard. So just to show you finally what a profile looks like, if you click View My Profile, this will pull together all the information that you wanted to present through your profile. So if we look here, it has your natural talents word cloud. This has been built up as a result of the hobbies that you selected and the interests, the personal profile statement, and the portfolio, which is the range of images that you added to your profile in the background. So these all get displayed in a gallery, a video section that you may want to include. Bit of a grumpy face there, not sure what that is. Some other bits and pieces here, and any documents and files that you may have uploaded. It then goes on to talk about your hobbies and the information that you put in to support your hobbies, and beyond that talks about job preferences, it talks about education and the employment history. So that's how it all builds together. Again, you can access back to the dashboard with this button. And just a couple of other final things to point out to you. You've got the option here to just flag your availability, whether you're currently looking, not available, or it could be that you're at school or college and you're not yet necessarily ready to start a career. So you should click those buttons. And the final sections, just to show you, is that there is a section around communities that you may want to be associated with, and you can attach a flag or a logo or an image that we have in the background that is relevant for that particular community, and you can show it on your profile if you wish, literally by clicking this button that says include the flag, or unclick it and that flag will not show. And there's a range of communities that you may wish to join, and if there's another community you're a member of, then you can suggest that community and we can add it in the background if it's appropriate and suitable. Another section is about industries, so it may be that you're particularly interested in a certain industry. I've flagged construction here, and by selecting any industry from this drop down list here on the right, as we gather more and more information from those industries, that information will appear at the bottom here under your latest news section. So keep an eye on that. If you select any industry types, then that's where that information will appear, and there's a whole raft of those that you can select. And finally, diversity. It's really important to us that people are judged on their potential and their talents, not on their background, not on where they've come from, not on their gender or any other category. So we're really keen to collect this information to demonstrate that anybody with a naturally talented Me profile is getting selected based purely on their capability and their talents. So again, you don't have to show this information. It's useful information to collect, but it is entirely voluntary, as are all these sections on the right hand side. So the diversity section, the industry and the community section are all sections that you can or cannot complete. It is entirely up to you. And having completed that, you will end up with a complete profile, which, as I've shown you, will look something like this. So hopefully that's been useful. Hopefully that's given you a good walkthrough of how to complete your profile. There are other videos on our website which talked about how to send your profile to employers, and also the back end for communities that are managing individuals within their community. So please reference those if you need more information. If at any time you need any further help or support, do please use our email address at info@naturallytalentedme.com, and we do wish you the best of luck in building a really standout profile that employers will love to receive. Good luck.